This evening, first, a terrifying shooting incident in Lodge leaves a 70-year-old man hospitalized. We'll bring you the latest on the hunt for the suspect and the car involved. Next, Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben calls for stricter measures as road accidents soar in Guyana. Find out how the government plans to tackle this growing concern. Then, major consultation kicks off for the US $75 million East Bank Road Expansion project. We'll tell you what this means for local residents and the country's infrastructure. Also, the government is building 40 turnkey houses in Bartica, 5 miles housing scheme, aiming to provide affordable homes by September. Learn about this ambitious housing initiative. Finally, in Venezuela, protests erupt as opposition leaders demand the presidential election results be overturned. Hundreds are arrested in the growing unrest. Stay tuned for these stories and more coming up on tonight's broadcast. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for August 5th, 2024. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, police are investigating a shooting incident at Norton Street Lodge on Saturday, August 3rd. The victim, Raymond Knight, a 70-year-old electrician, reported that he got home around 9:15 p.m. and while parking his bus, he saw a man dressed in black with black hoodie enter his yard, pointed a gun at him and began to squeeze the trigger, but the gun did not fire. Knight said he began to run to the back of his house and the suspect gave chase behind him. As he attempted to open the grill door to his apartment, the suspect discharged several rounds in his direction, hitting him and causing him to receive injuries. The suspect exited the yard, entered a car bearing registration number PAB 8252, drove off in an eastern direction heading to Mandela Avenue, and made good his escape. Knight was picked up by public-spirited citizens and taken to the city hospital where he was admitted. He is in stable condition, nursing 2 gunshot wounds. The scene was processed and investigators recovered 3 9mm spent shells. Efforts to locate the suspect and the car are ongoing. In other news, Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben emphasized the need for keen assessments and stern actions to address the rising number of road accidents and deaths in Guyana. Speaking at the Road Safety Stakeholders Forum 2024, a road safety campaign launched on Friday, Minister Ben highlighted that most road accidents involve young males who consume alcohol at bars. The campaign was launched under the theme, Do the Right Thing. Despite a previous decrease in road deaths to below 100 between 2021 and 2022, last year's figure rose to around 179, placing Guyana at 63rd internationally for road deaths. The minister noted a significant increase in registered vehicles, including lorries, minibuses, and pickups from 5,699 in 2020 to over 15,000 by 2023. He proposed increased attention to traffic during weekends and evenings and plans to consult the Attorney General about tripling traffic fines to curb the problem. He also stressed the importance of public awareness and stronger public-private partnerships. Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken urged citizens to be more responsible on the roads and mentioned a forthcoming comprehensive ticket and fine system. The forum aimed to implement new programs and policies to reduce road accidents and fatalities, with participation from private entities such as Ansa Distributors Incorporated and Unicomer. On a different note, the government has initiated consultations with residents along the East Bank corridor regarding the US $75 million East Bank Road Expansion project. Public meetings were held on Saturday by the minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, and the minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, in the Susac-Tamari catchment area. Meetings took place at Tamari and St. Mary's Primary School, with additional engagements along the roadways involving vendors and taxi and minibus drivers. Minister Indar emphasized the importance of informing residents about major developmental projects in their area. The project, contracted to China Roads and Bridges Corporation, includes constructing 4 lanes and is expected to take approximately 3 years to complete. A roundabout at Susac Junction will be built to upgrade the Susac-Linden Highway. Minister McCoy assured residents of ongoing engagement throughout the project, highlighting the benefits of reduced traffic congestion and improved infrastructure. He noted the project's significance for the country's development, especially as the corridor is a key route for visitors arriving at the Chedijagan International Airport. The government will ensure employment opportunities for residents through collaboration with the contractor. Further consultations will be held with other villages along the upper East Bank corridor as the project progresses. Stick around when we return. Government constructs 40 turnkey houses in Bartica, and a 77-year-old Friendship resident receives new home through Manimation program.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. The government is constructing 40 turnkey houses at the 5 Miles Housing Scheme Phase 2 in Bartica, Region 7. It is expected to be completed by the end of September. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell recently gave this update in an interview with the Department of Public Information. The Turnkey Housing Initiative aims to provide affordable housing across Guyana, with Bartica included in its effort. The houses, currently 15% complete, are 3-bedroom flat structures. The government has invested approximately $495 million in the project. The turnkey process allows individuals to pre-qualify and finance the houses through banks. In addition to the 40 houses, the ministry has allocated house lots to around 150 allottees. The 99-acre housing scheme offers over 300 serviced lots, including residential and commercial areas, a community service center, and recreational spaces. Located near the Bartik airstrip, the scheme will be well connected by roads, enhancing residents' access and opportunities. The government is investing over $1 billion in infrastructure works, including drainage and road networks, which are about 80% completed. The housing scheme will connect to the Bartik-Bataru Road and the upcoming ROI to Puri Road, improving road access for residents, minors, and commuters. In similar news, Samendra Hari Prasad, a 77-year-old pensioner from Friendship East Bank, Demerara, has been granted a life-changing opportunity with a new elevated flat courtesy of the Manimation program. Minister Kwame McCoy, responsible for public affairs and information, played a pivotal role in the official handover of the home to Hari Prasad, which took place last Saturday. Hari Prasad, who has lived in Friendship for 16 years, faced severe hardships, including the death of her husband and the disappearance of her sons. Her previous home was in despair, but thanks to the Manimation Initiative, she now has a new residence. Minister McCoy praised the MOM initiative for its focus on aiding vulnerable individuals and supporting national development. The program, funded with $500 million in the National Fiscal Plan, aims to provide housing for those in need and promote equitable development. The Manimation Initiative, founded by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, has already provided homes to many single mothers and elderly individuals in 2024. The organization seeks to address toxic masculinity and foster positive societal values. Don't go away after the break. Bangladesh PM Hasina ousted. Army announces formation of interim government. And far-right rioters attack asylum seeker hotels in UK's Rotterdam, Tamworth.
Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common Smalls make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Suriname's police arrested two CARICOM nationals, a 40-year-old Trinidadian and a 39-year-old Guyanese, on suspicion of skimming, a type of fraud where criminals copy debit card details. The arrests followed a report from a woman who noticed unauthorized withdrawals and purchases totaling SRD $38,000 from her account. Authorities found 94 counterfeit debit cards in the suspect's vehicle, linking them to other recent fraud cases. The Suriname Police Force, Fraud Department, and other agencies are investigating the rise in skimming incidents in Paramaribo. Meanwhile, Venezuela's opposition leader has joined thousands of protesters demanding the presidential election results be overturned. Hundreds have been arrested during the demonstrations across the country since President Nicolas Maduro was declared the winner. Al Jazeera's Tristabo reports.
Carrying Venezuelan flags and wearing white t-shirts, thousands of people took to the streets with one message: we're here to defend our vote. In spite of being threatened with prison, opposition leader Maria Corina Machado joined the protest.
The world knows they intend to forcefully withhold the result. 6 days later, they have not handed over a single record. The period has expired and the pseudo-legal maneuver can cover up the truth. The truth is in our tallies and the fact is in our hearts.
The Electoral Council has declared President Nicolás Maduro the winner, though it has failed to publish the fully voting results. The government says its system was hacked. Opposition supporters, who also acted as witnesses on election day, displayed some of the tally sheets in their possession as proof of what they say was a massive fraud. Over 1,000 people have been arrested in the past week. 90 of them teenagers, human rights groups say. Andrés Cañizales is a Venezuelan professor. He says Sunday's election was the beginning of a new era in Venezuela.
In the past, you had an authoritarian government that held semi-competitive elections. Now the government does not accept results and decides to rule all the same.
President Nicolás Maduro says the opposition is trying to get him out of office and blames the United States. On Saturday, thousands of his supporters also took to the streets to defend the administration.
I denounce that the government of the United States, together with Elon Musk and the international fascist of Milei, are at the forefront of a destabilization process and a coup d'etat at this moment against the Venezuelan people and against Venezuelan democracy.
This is not the first time Maduro has faced a controversial election or protests on the streets. But it is the first time the opposition says it can prove they defeated him. That's why they say they will remain on the streets, convinced truth is on their side. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned and fled the country following weeks of deadly demonstrations. The removal of Hasina on Monday followed weeks of deadly protests and appears to have averted the threat of further bloodshed. The focus now moves to who will control the South Asian country. Al Jazeera's Charles Stratford reports.
Protesters stormed the residence of Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Weeks of violent demonstrations across the South Asian country have killed at least 300 people. In an address to the nation, the army chief confirmed Hasina had resigned and fled the country. He urged people to trust in the military to restore calm and ensure those responsible for the killings are punished.
The country is witnessing a period of revolution right now. I had invited all the leaders of political parties. They came here and we had a good discussion. We have decided to form an interim government. Through the interim government, the functioning of the country will take place. I'm giving you my word that we will bring justice for all the killings and the injustice that has happened. Have faith in the army, the armed forces.
The protest started last month with a demand to end quotas in government jobs reserved for relatives of people who fought in the War of Independence more than 50 years ago. There was a pause in the demonstrations after the Supreme Court scrapped most quotas, but students came back to the streets demanding justice for the families of those killed and the resignation of the Prime Minister. More than 90 people were killed on Sunday alone, including 13 police officers, when demonstrators attacked a police station. The army has promised to form an interim government, But there are concerns about lack of trust in the military among the protesters.
This is really a population that has been looking for accountability and justice for some years now under an increasingly authoritarian Awami League regime. So that will be crucial. I think the big fear now, should be that there may be reprisals and violence against followers of the ruling party. I think this is something that everyone's really worried about. And we're really hoping that the army is able to keep the peace, as well as introduce some kind of interim system that can deliver us back to democracy in Bangladesh.
After the army chief spoke, a group which has spearheaded the anti-government protests released a statement saying the military is not the solution. The students and the public will decide who will be appointed to the interim government, it said. 76-year-old Hasina won a fourth straight term in January this year. The election was boycotted by the main opposition party. Her party, the Awami League, has been accused of rights abuses and corruption for years. Hasina's resignation and fleeing the country is being widely celebrated across Bangladesh. But restoring calm, assuring accountability and trust in a military that is itself accused of widespread abuse poses a huge challenge in the days and weeks ahead. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera.
Finally, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said what describes as far-right thugs will regret taking part in recent violence that has mostly targeted refugees and other minority communities across the country. Al Jazeera's Manila Vasilovic reports.
Another day, another battle between rioters and the police. The front line this time, a hotel housing migrants in Rotherham in the north of England. The far-right protest, advertised as peaceful, quickly descending into violence. Police taking the brunt of it, trying to protect those trapped inside. But there's no sign of letting up here or in other parts of England. In Middlesbrough, in the northeast, police struggling to hold back more rioters. As disorder spreads, sparked by false rumours online that a suspect in the murder of 3 young girls in Southport a week ago was a Muslim immigrant. The British Prime Minister warning instigators they will be punished.
I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
Overnight, the city of Liverpool saw some of the worst violence, youths torching their own neighbourhood. The damage clear in the light of day.
Well, the smell of smoke here is overwhelming. This space was refurbished only 18 months ago. It's got children's classes, it's a community hub and a library. It hosts adult IT classes, which people here say the community desperately needs. There are welfare officers here as well that come and help people with their forms. All of that gone in one night of violence.
The answer as to why this happened isn't simple.
I think it was a mix of things. Obviously, there was a large amount of far-right manipulation on social media. There was also an element of disaffection from other people getting involved. But there's no excuse for the type of criminality and seeking to try and damage and ultimately destroy a community facility. We're not going to let that small minority divide us. We're not going to let that small minority win. That's why we're going to bring this facility back into use. And equally as well, we're going to look at how we support the wider community to build back from yesterday's unacceptable events.
This Romanian shop was a target of looting. Workers left to pick up the pieces. After days of violence, communities can only hope it all ends soon. Milena Veselinovic, Al Jazeera, Liverpool.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.